Hi, Pearls, and welcome back to our channel. We're back.
Hello. It's been a while.
Yes. We are back off of a much-needed break. Yeah, we've missed you. I know you've missed us. We're going to be a little bit more active. We just really needed to take the time. We needed to practice what we preach. We really needed some time to pause and regroup and just spend some time together and deal with this thing we call life. Hope all is doing well. As you can see by the title, this is going to be a good one. Why you need to check your baggage at the door. So before we get into this, you know, this hasn't changed. Grab your beverage of choice. Sit back, relax, and join us for a couple minutes. We're glad you're here. Also, I'll say that. Anyway.
A little rusty.
So, yeah, just a little rusty about, now this is not our, Truths About Marriage series. This is our general, dating series. I guess. I mean, this is more geared to our single pearls, right?
Yeah.
So what led me to even bring this, because this is something I'm very passionate about, and I brought it to Josh's attention, as I saw a meme the other day, Facebook, Instagram, somewhere, where a young lady posted on her, it was a meme that was a picture of some stairs, these long dark stairs, concrete stairway with like a whole sheet of ice on them, and the meme said, "This is the way to my heart." Now, being the life coach that I am, I was going to post a comment and say, "But the one with the right bag of salt will come along." But then I thought about that. That's a problem. That is a problem. Being that guarded and putting these obstacles and these walls up, we thought like that's a deeper issue there. Yeah. That is actually wrong. And unfortunately, that is the stigma today, that a difficult woman, won't be easy to love, but she's worth it. And, there's really nothing out there for men. I know that this goes twofold, and we do try to keep things general. We don't always want to tag and blame and point fingers at one specific gender or situation. But I have to be honest to say that primarily women due to hurts and things, and we'll get into that in this video, it's the stigma of, the more difficult you are, the more walls, the more barriers, the more guarded. Not saying they're not justified, because we're not going there, but that almost means like it's worth you, and the person that wins that race is worthy. And that's not right. That's absolutely wrong. So that's what we're going to touch into. So I'm going to introduce each of the thoughts that we want to actually hone in on. Mm-hmm. Josh is definitely here as a man who has had a dating life, single man, to give some perspective. Also as a man who has had his own baggage as well, and so forth and so on. So he's definitely going to chime in like he always does. So the very first thing that I wanted to address is, it is not an honor or a privilege to break down your emotional walls to date you. It's not like some golden ring to obtain by picking locks and climbing through and taking bricks out. And that concept of, this challenge posed in order to prove themselves worthy to date you, it's not a privilege. Your baggage is not a privilege or some kind of honor. And I don't know, did you have some examples of different ways that's, because you even said that's more of a turnoff than anything.
Yeah, no, it is. Because any man that's trying to date a woman or get a woman's attention or court a woman, however you want to put it, no man wants to jump through hoops. Now, understand that, yes, that man might want to shed light and let you realize that no matter what you dealt with in your past, I'm going to surpass all that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm here for the long haul. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean he wants to have to jump through hoops every little turn.
Right.
Like whether it's how many times he's got to call you a day or text you, or how many dates before you have sex or whatever. Nobody, male or female, nobody wants to have to jump through a bunch of hoops to prove that they want to be with you.
No, and that's another point. The point, like I said, when I said earlier, is that it's generally a female thing. But, I know many women, it's just like it's a stereotypical thing that a man has to jump through hoops to be with you. Women are known like, I'm not going through a whole bunch just to prove that I'm the one for you and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to be number two. And I'm not going to, it's like, we're not going to put up with nothing. But you got to prove yourself by putting up with this. And that's just not appealing. That does not draw somebody to you. And we're going to get into what it does draw to you later on in the video. That's about it with that.
Yeah.
Moving on. The second point we wanted to bring to this is that, you are responsible to love yourself, heal yourself, regroup, and break those previous soul ties that have caused these walls in your life.
Exactly.
You are responsible to take the time to set yourself apart and identify what's hurting you and why, and what that last few relationships put you through and why you kept enduring it. And, I'm constantly telling you guys that a part of you setting standards and all of that is self-assessment. It's reflection on you. And anyone that that you may have caught their eye or may be potential suitors for you, they're not responsible to help you break that. And I'm tired of seeing those memes and posts and emails and different things going around where, they're the right one's going to come. No, they're not supposed to. Their purpose is not to come along and fix you and heal you. Only you can do that. They didn't do that to you. So it's not fair that they should have to now come along and heal and fix. And the sad reality that most of us are unaware of is they can't.
Not at all.
You have to fix you. You have to fix you. And the reason why you continue to get into certain things and what have you is because you're not allowing yourself that time to set yourself apart. That fear of being alone, all kind of stuff. Everybody just wants to be in something. So you get in these situationships. I hate these situationships. I talk about these situationships. But this is the stuff that causes them. And the sad reality is you just grab on more and more and more muck and more grime and more bricks on that wall and more barriers and more hurts and pains and fears. And the list is endless. And then you expect or you think it's somebody is supposed to come along and handle that. And that's not the case. That's not the case.
That's why it's the title it is.
Yeah. Check your baggage at the door. You are responsible for unpacking and assessing and dealing with that baggage from whatever. And the sad reality is it might even be the very last relationship. It could be 15, 4, 5, 6 relationships ago. I'll say 15, but because some people are still carrying stuff from high school, sweethearts. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but that's the point. Nobody is obligated to come help fix it. And number one, they can't. And number two, they're not obligated to even try. That's not a burden you put on somebody. I don't want nobody else's anything. Okay. I don't want nobody else's trials, tribulations, burdens. If I did it, I'll pay for it. But if it's not mine, I'm not coming to pay for it. It ain't no different than going to the grocery store and setting your bags down and expecting the person behind you to come pay for your groceries. Are you kidding? It's not right. And it's the absolute wrong mindset to have. And you really, truly should not even be dating if you are carrying around a lot of these hurts and these walls and these barriers. You really shouldn't be. All right. Anything on you got to say on that, babe?
No.
Have you ever had a relationship situation where you were dating somebody and that was what you found yourself almost to the point of having to try or felt almost because you liked her and it was like, let me try to fix or what have you, and you just ended up walking away?
Situations, but yeah, I just walked away because you can't compete with somebody's baggage. No matter how much you want to or think you can or endure. Like this one chick I was dealing with, always had good conversation. Everything was good. I'll say we got along good. We never really discussed actually getting in a relationship, but when it did start to get serious and it got to that point, she kind of was slacking. So I just backed off. And the funny thing was, with what she was dealing with her kid's dad and everything else, and she was going to school and just everything. But so when I actually started seeing her, she
I know who you're
she
talking
actually
about.
showed up and gave me this little note and up there. Now she's ready and she wants, but it wasn't until she knew I moved on and got into another relationship that she actually expected me to come to her house that night while she was in the house asleep. Like, really? No. Like, you had your chance. You was dealing with your baggage, and instead of checking yourself and then being real with me, you wanted to do what you wanted to do, and so now you done see I moved on. Now you're ready. So it's
Right. And would it be fair to say then in that situation, the best thing she could have even done for herself is what we just said. Take her time. She shouldn't have been dating you.
Yeah.
She shouldn't even been out there trying to hook up, date, see anybody. She should have really been dealing with her baggage, her issues, her whatever, and you shouldn't even been a factor in her life. And that's what many of us do, unfortunately. So, yeah. And that goes into what we were saying. You know, I do consider my husband to be a good man. I did marry him after all. Or I did accept his hand. A good man and a good woman deserves and desires a whole person. Okay? And it just really goes back into, you know, a good man or woman is not responsible to help sort your whatever. They are not supposed to. They don't want to jump through hoops and challenges and go through a whole bunch of everything to prove that they are worthy of dating you. Nobody is looking forward to that. Nobody's like, yay. Nobody is looking forward to that. So you have to stop putting that out there. You're not going to attract, and you will turn off a true, because good men and women pretty much are like, they're ready. They know their standards. They know their dating purpose. They're whole and complete. You know, everybody can be improved upon. Nobody's perfect.
They know what they want. Games. It's
right. And the last thing they know is they know what they don't want. And they know that they don't want to deal with a bunch of emotional baggage and jumping through hoops and stuff. They just don't. So, like Josh's example, he was like, I'm done. I'm out. I mean, they may try for a little while, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. That's it. Yeah. Also, a good man and a good woman, they're not going to add, to the baggage. Okay, they're not going to come along and give you more reasons to build walls and barriers and another level on the wall, but they're not responsible for unpacking it either. Okay, like we said, and we just want to keep bringing up the point of nobody is responsible to address your emotional hangups and issues and hurts and pains, but you. They did not bring it. They should not be helping you sort it out. And that don't necessarily mean that while you're sorting it and doing what you need to do to go back and get those that did do it to you to help you fix it either. Just leave that by itself. just leave it. Just leave it. Okay. So yeah, we can pretty much move along on that because we pretty much said a lot on that. And this is what it all really comes down to is, this point here is that the types that you keep attracting are also not whole. So when we say that, we're talking about, you've always heard me say in blogs and what have you, and if you've attended any of my classes, whatever, is that whatever you present is what you're going to manifest. What you're putting out into the universe is what's going to return to you. And that's why you are gravitating. If you notice, and you hear it all the time, you keep seeing and dating the same people, the same situations. You're always in the same, every time I turn around, I'm dealing with the same type. Why do you think that is? Remember, I talked about standards. Your standards are based on you. Standards require you to, create them and design them based on self-assessment. But in that requires work on yourself. And the work includes identifying your hangups, identifying the why you don't like, don't want, can't deal with, so forth and so on. Okay. And if you're not doing that and you're staying in that level of wherever you are, that's what you're going to keep bringing to you. And toxic, not whole people, people with their own issues, drama from last relationships, you name it. The list will be here till 20 more years from now if I went through the whole list. But you will that's what's going to keep dealing with you, because that's what they're going to want to come deal with that. Because to them, it's a game. A lot of manipulative, sorry, the wine's hitting already, babe. Manipulative people will deal with that. They'll tell you what you need to hear, and that's the sad reality, is because when you set yourself up for, they got to, prove this, that, and the third, a lot of masters of telling you what you want to hear and are those types of people that you really need to run from.
Yeah.
And unfortunately it blinds you, because you can't see when a real good one is in front of you, because you're so used to this manipulative foolishness, these lies and these fake promises, that you keep succumbing to. Because and that's another reason why I'm always promoting and preaching about being whole. Because when you're whole, the blinders come off.
Yeah.
You become focused. When you have your dating purpose, when you have defined, clear standards that help you also create your dating purpose, it keeps you focused. And you'll see, I know what that is. I'm going this way. Or you'll shut it down from the rip. And you won't continue to repeat these things. You won't continue to repeat these lessons that are in forms of people in bad relationships.
Changing that whole mindset.
Yes.
You have to change that mindset and stop being negative and stop making your past such a bold thing.
Yes.
Like let the past be dead and move on from it.
Yes.
Don't you know what I mean? Speak positivity.
Yes.
And realize that, okay, that happened with Johnny, but I'm making sure that I'm going to put all that to the side and let this guy have a chance, because he's been showing proof that he wants to be. But just, you got to be positive. Just change that whole mindset.
Right. What's the saying? If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Exactly.
And then you have to start looking at yourself. And a lot of it is you. We like to blame other people. We always want to put everything on other people. But there's a lot of times that we're in these relationships that we know darn well we ignored the signs, ignored those intuitive bells that was popping off, all the different little things we saw, and we just kept dealing and kept dealing. And then we have a soul tie now connected, and some baggage and some hurt, and sometimes damn near almost killed yourself to get out of it. And now you think the next person's supposed to come along and help you deal with that? No, boo. You need to stay still. Don't worry about dating. Your dating purpose may not be to date right now. That workbook is not just for that dating purpose workbook is not just for the purpose of getting married, dating to get married. Your dating purpose may not be. But
and again, what do we say? Check your bags at the door.
Check them. You are responsible to check them, though. So a lot of you need to understand that. And here's another thought I just want to throw out here for my ladies, because I beat up on my ladies, but I got to give it to you. Okay, I gotta make you understand that just got been married and with this man for 16 years does not mean that I don't know. Okay, I understand there's a difference between having emotional baggage and situations that are unresolved and that you have not healed from and moved forward from. Okay, there's a difference between that and just I'm a good woman. I know I'm a good woman. I deserve this, that, and the third. I'm not playing with no foolishness. Don't let no manipulative Johnny come lately come talking no BS to me. There's a difference between that and that. Being whole and knowing what you want and what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with, that's not what we're talking about. Okay, not having barriers and emotional, bricks around your heart and around you as a person, okay, does not mean that you're easy. Okay, but you have to allow the gates to be open to receive, because if you're so blocked, our point in this whole video is, then you will not allow the right one to come along.
Exactly.
Okay, that you're gonna allow that what you're allowing is them fools that don't mind climbing over fences and gates and stuff so they can play around in your yard. All your emotional, everything, and walk away and leave more damage. A real man or woman's going to come in that gate and they need it to be open and free so they can bring the trucks in, so they can bring some new things in. Okay? They're not going to add to it. Okay? So that's the thing. I don't want you guys mistaking what we're saying for not having standards and not standing up for yourself and not holding yourself to a certain esteem and all of that.
Yeah, but
That's not what we mean.
Even with that, not that that's a whole different video, but even with that, sometimes you got to check your standards.
Oh, that's a whole. I'm even going to do a
Yeah.
class on that. I've even been thinking about doing a class on that.
Not to get, but yeah, that's a whole different thing. Sometimes you got to check your standards.
Yeah.
Because that might be why you keep ending up with who you ending up with,
That's
because
true.
you got these certain standards, whether it's the physical attributes or this and that. But that's a whole nother video.
Yep, that is a whole nother video. But that's what my point in
drink.
standards is that your standards are based on you. Your standards are not based on them. And I'm going to get into that. I do have a video on standards. I guess I'll link it somewhere up here or down in the description. But that does not go in it as deep as I really do want to get into that. Because you need to define clear, realistic standards, because that is what you use to develop and create your dating purpose. You cannot have one without the other. And I keep telling you to have one, so I'm going to tell you how to do it. So that's going to definitely be an upcoming class.
One thing that well, I just keep wanting to push with the whole check your bags at the door. For most people that may not know, this is going back years ago. When you would check into a hotel, you would check your bags. So whether you stayed in the lounge or whatever, they took your bags up to your room. That was the purpose of checking your bag, so you didn't have to do it. So once that bag is checked, that doesn't mean once you get in that room with that new person that they're supposed to help you unpack your bag. You checked it. That's it.
Leave it there.
Leave it there.
Yes. Yes.
Simple.
Yes. You have to break these soul ties. What I've explained to you guys in other videos, I've even explained this in one of my most recent one-on-one coaching sessions, is that what you don't understand about ties is that they don't break. They're still connected. No. That vibrational energy is still connected to that situation, to that person, to that job, to that whatever. Okay. And until you consciously ground yourself, okay, manifest and say affirmations and clearly break the tie that you have control to break, you're still connected. And then you wonder why you're so bogged down. You wonder why you're hard to love. You wonder why you can't find a good man or woman. Well, because you're still attached to the things that hurt you.
Or even getting bitter about certain situations.
Triggers. Talked about them triggers before.
Yes.
I talked about them triggers. But you have to identify what they are. Because you control you. You control your life. You control what you receive and what you allow into your life, emotionally, mentally, whatever it is. And you control whether it stays or goes. But when you release yourself from things, what you have to get in the habit of doing is take the time, just take the time, ladies and gentlemen, to allow yourself that grieving, regrouping process. Don't jump into the next thing. Do not jump at all. Stay still. Get yourself together, especially if it was something traumatic. So especially if it's something that lasted a while. You should not be out here bringing someone else in. You really shouldn't. You're not ready. And it's okay to tell somebody. And let me tell you something else. Real people that really want you, that's a test. I'm not ready. I have to get some things together. I'm trying to clear my soul. I'm trying to get this last relationship off me. I just need some time to me. Watch who sticks around. That's a test. Not if they want to get in there and help you and try to fix you. That you don't want that. Why would you even want that? Would you be willing to do it? You can't fix people. They have to choose to fix themselves. That's why you keep loving on people too. This is for those people that are the fixers, that are still, even though you know you need to walk away, that you keep allowing and pulling and being involved in these relationships, and they're not changing. The situation is not changing because they have to change themselves. You cannot change them. You cannot fix them.
I will say, most men are fixers.
Yes.
Most men want to try and solve the puzzle.
Women too, babe. Women too.
But if
Women love a project.
If I only got nails and a hammer in my tool belt, and you need a jackhammer to get through what you need to get through, then what is my hammer and nails going to do?
Exactly. You got to give me something. You got to give me something to work with. You have to be and you can't be hard to love. Hard to love is not cute. Hard to love
No,
is
it
not
isn't.
attractive. Not to good, whole people that are going to be an asset to your life. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants, and nobody should want that. And if they do, whew, we got a whole nother counseling sessions, videos, and everything else we need to talk about on that. But anyway, went a little over as always. We're trying to get these a little shorter. But, that's really just it, ladies and gentlemen. We just kind of want to let you know that that stigma of, easy, a good woman's not going to be easy. And if she is, it ain't going to be like, no, that's just foolishness. Now, what that really truly means is that a good man or woman ain't going to put up with foolishness, ain't going to put up with Johnny come, Jane come lately BS. And you better check that at the door. That's what it all comes down to. Okay, that's the realness. But being hard to love and thinking somebody's supposed to jump through hoops, that's false. So anyway, we're done with this. You have any questions or anything, you always can email Josh at
lenaspearls.com.
and April at lenaspearls.com.
I
You want
remember
to
this
schedule,
time.
yes, you always do now. You want to schedule any one-on-one coaching sessions with us or anything, you can schedule that on our, I can't talk today, on our website, lenaspearls.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Those links will be down below. We're going to start trying to go live as we used to. Getting the rust off. So we have a question for you before we end the video. Are you someone who has dated someone that has baggage? Or are you someone that realizes that you have some baggage and you have maybe missed your chance at real, true love and a healthy relationship because of it? We would love to hear your comments. Open comments up down below. Share with us. We love to interact with you guys.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, and share. Oh my
And
goodness,
comment.
I forgot that. I forgot to say that. My God, I'm
And
rusty.
comment.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe.
And comment.
And comment. All right, guys, that is it. Done?
Yeah.
Until next time, guys, take care. Be blessed.
Check them bags at the door.
Oh my gosh.